The Best Way to Explain It, Episode 21. Hello, everybody. Welcome and Merry Christmas to all of you podcast listeners, and welcome to another episode of The Best Way to Explain It, the podcast that's almost as bad as that feeling you get when you press A too quickly and have to speak to Nurse Joy all over again.
That's an awful feeling.
It really is.
Yeah.
Because you have to click through every single dialogue animation. And it just saddens me.
I just recently started playing Fallout 4, and I forget that you have to like kind of wait through the phrasing and everything. So I ended up like going through the same dialogue, I want to say 5 times, just because.
Really?
Yeah, I would pick the wrong stuff, and then it wouldn't work out.
Mm-hmm. Well, you just press left, right? It's like sarcastic every single time, right?
Yeah, sarcastic or the actual like angry one.
Yeah.
I'm never nice.
Well, no. Well, you quick save before you do persuasive or intimidate, and then you just keep reloading it until you actually get the successful persuasion or whatever.
Life hacks, man. Life hacks.
And then you never have to spend any points on speech.
That's very true.
Yeah.
It takes forever, though. It gets so boring after a while.
It does. Sometimes I just don't care.
Yeah.
So.
I spend all my points on speech. I get my speech all the way up, and then I just mosey around the world because you can talk your way out of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you could put 10 points on luck and then make sure your intelligence is super dumb, and then you just get idiot savant and make all this experience.
This is such a niche topic to be talking about.
It really
in
is.
The intro
If anybody's
of our podcast.
ever played Fallout 4, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're keeping it lighthearted. It's Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, it's Christmas Eve, which apparently is a Friends reference. I need to watch that show, I guess.
Friends is all right, but
do I?
I mean, why watch Friends when you can watch Parks and Rec?
True.
Yeah. Hey, Friends is funny. It's just like, it's kind of like Seinfeld. It's annoying when people reference it.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Hey, but it's Festivus, right?
Yeah,
Happy
Festivus for the rest of us. Do you have your
Airing
Festivus
of
pull up?
No. Gotta air our grievances today. All right, so you were talking today, man. I feel like you've just missed a lot lately. It's been
a long
rough.
time. Yeah.
So,
well, you kicked me out for a much better, much more eloquently, vocal person.
Oh yeah, no, that was
Tim.
fun having Tim.
But yeah, I still need to listen to that. But if you guys want to hear about free will and what our good friend Tim thinks of it, episode 20, so the best way to explain it.com/20 is where you can find that, or on iTunes and the other podcasting areas.
iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, other ones.
And the other ones.
On pretty much everywhere that has podcasts besides Spotify, because I don't know how to get it on Spotify.
Yeah.
All right, but you're going to talk about something fairly thematic.
Yeah.
Right, with the whole season. And what is that?
Oh, we're going to talk about Christmas today. Around the world, everyone's celebrating something. So I figured I'd talk about Christmas and Christmas traditions, give you guys a little background on Santa Claus, and explain whether or not he's real for your kids. Just kidding.
Right.
We're not gonna get into that. Hint: he is.
He is. Have you ever seen Elf?
Yeah. Duh. Santa.
I've seen Elf way too many times.
I've got to say it's probably like 4 or 5 times every Christmas season since it's been released. Yep.
Gross.
Yeah, but since this podcast is actually coming out on Christmas, I thought it would be a great present. So Merry Christmas to you guys, to talk about Christmas and be, a little bit more lighthearted than talking about concussions or something. So, at my house, our family tradition is I wake up at 5 o'clock because I can never sleep on Christmas night or Christmas Eve, and we all drink coffee and eat scones. Maybe if you're like me, you like waking up in your pajamas that you opened up on Christmas Eve, and then, or you like traveling all the way across the country to visit distant relatives and make annoying small talk. What's your preferred plan of action, Scott?
Well, my relatives listen to this, so I love going to visit. I love going to visit them. No, but I do. That's fun. But I think this year we're actually just sticking around.
Cool.
I don't know.
Cool.
I just like being around family and hanging out with them. And I know that's boo. That's
boo.
really,
how dare you?
It's a really cheesy answer, but no, I do. It's especially now that not in high school, don't live with my parents anymore. Well, most of the time I don't live with my parents anymore. You don't get to see, the whole family together very often. And so it's a lot of fun. Just, like you said, drinking coffee and having fun and just hanging out.
Yeah, man. So, let's get into some of these traditions. So I wanted to start out in the US of A, kind of explain maybe some of our traditions that you and I do, Scott. We are, typical middle America people. So we could win the electoral vote. Maybe.
Exactly.
So our melting pot culture, really, just about every family has their own little things that they do. Typically, you'll see the tradition of the family sitting around a table with everyone eating like a big turkey or ham. We, at my house, love to do a crab boil. We started out doing a candlelit dinner. With fish, and we tried sushi one year, but it was high-V sushi, so it wasn't very good. And but now we do a crab boil with like crab legs, shrimp, corn, potatoes. It's really cool. Instead of a turkey. Another popular, and that's your Christmas Eve dinner before everyone like tries to go to sleep at 8 o'clock and wait for Santa to come. Right. Another popular U.S. tradition is opening one present on Christmas Eve. Usually this present, especially for my family, is a new set of pajamas. But I hear about people getting to like choose a present under the tree. You do anything like that, Scott?
Well, because we're actually normal people, we actually open all of our presents on Christmas Eve. So,
what?
Yeah, that is the proper time to do it. It's always when you do it.
Incorrect.
Oh, when my mom listens to you, she's going to just think you're awesome because she came from a family that you open presents on Christmas Day.
Yeah, where's the excitement?
Christmas Eve.
Where's the excitement of Christmas if you're not opening your presents on Christmas Day? That's the best part.
No. No.
Wrong. Well, it's the second best part. The scones are the best part.
You are fake news.
You are fake news. Oh my, we're breaking out our Trump impressions on a Christmas podcast.
Oh boy, I apologize.
We can't even not politicize Christmas.
So there's an attack on Christmas.
Get out.
Stop the war on Christmas.
So, with Christmas, obviously, comes Santa Claus, and I haven't seen a country that latched on to this tradition as much as America, where kids line up at local malls and festivals to get a glimpse at the bearded fellow and tell him what they want for Christmas, because he doesn't already know that, I guess.
Nope.
It always makes for great awkward pictures to look at, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's not strictly a U.S. thing. Like the UK and other people do it. They all have their own little twist on St. Nicholas. Or they have some evil creature like Krampus, who we'll get into a little bit later. Luckily, Krampus is not real. Only Santa Claus is real. It was a movie.
Wasn't it a movie? Yeah. Was it bad? I don't know.
It was terrible from what I've heard. I didn't go watch it.
Okay. No, but I can't remember. I just remember hearing about it.
Yeah.
But Krampus.
Yeah. So I figured I'd talk about, like the origin of Santa and some of the different Santa Clauses around the world, including Krampus. So Santa, originally St. Nicholas, was a bishop in 4th century Turkey. Then it was called Asia Minor for all of you history buffs. He was very rich due to inheriting a large fortune from his parents after they died when he was young. So St. Nicholas, being a very kind man, often gave gifts to the poor or secret gifts to other people. So there's a bunch of legends about St. Nicholas. It's hard to tell which ones are true, coming from 4th century legend and literature. We have conflicting reports.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
One popular legend that I've heard, and it was actually a children's book that was read to me explaining the history of Santa back when my brother decided to ruin the surprise for me. So there was a poor man who had 3 daughters, and the man was so poor that he did not have enough money for a dowry. So his daughters couldn't get married. A dowry is a sum of money that you pay the bridegroom from the bride's parents on the wedding day to like kick him out of the house and say like, here, take my money, take my daughter, be happy.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite nowadays.
Yeah, I know. So this still happens in some countries even today, but it's not as popular, especially in the United States. That would be kind of a weird thing to do here. Yeah. So one night, Nicholas secretly dropped a bag of gold down the chimney into the house. This meant that the oldest daughter was then able to be married. So the bag fell into a stocking that had been hung by the fire to dry, and this was repeated later with the second daughter, and finally, determined to discover the person who had given him the money, the father secretly hid by the fire every evening until he caught Nicholas dropping in a bag of gold. Nicholas begged the man to not tell anyone what he had done because he did not want to bring attention to himself, but soon the news got out, and when anyone received a secret gift, it was thought that it might be from Nicholas. So, Saint Nicholas was exiled from Myra and later put in prison during the persecution by the Emperor Diocletian. No one really knows when he died, but it was on the 6th of December in either 345 or 352. You just can't tell.
It's one of those 2 years, and definitely not 347.
I just think that's the most random. Well, no one knows, but there's a 7-year difference in the day.
Yeah.
But
ooh, not one of those. Oh, what, you think it's 350? Wow, what a loser.
But in 1087, his bones were stolen from Turkey by some Italian merchant sailors. The bones are now kept in the church named after him in the Italian port of Bari. So on St. Nicholas feast day, the 6th of December, the sailors of Bari still carry his statue from the cathedral out to sea so that he can bless the waters and give them safe voyages throughout the year. In 1066, before he set sail to England, William the Conqueror prayed to St. Nicholas asking that his conquest would go well. So St. Nicholas is the saint for sailors and for gift giving, I believe. So in this spirit, European countries based a present giver on St. Nicholas. In the UK, they call him Father Christmas, and this Father Christmas was developed in the 6th century as an old character in stories and plays. In France, this character is known as Père Noël. So, in other countries like Germany and Austria, this gift giver is a small boy called Christkind, and he represents the little baby Jesus. Some of the descriptions were very Aryan, like blonde-haired, blue-eyed, which sounds very German. But it's this little baby kind of like Cupid that brings presents to people. For the good old USA, Santa Claus started as Kris Kringle, but after the Dutch took the idea of Kris Kringle and began calling him Sinterklaas, his name eventually changed to Santa Claus. And a fun fact about Santa Claus and his reindeer may be all female reindeer because female reindeer keep their antlers in the winter while male reindeer shed their antlers during the winter.
Wait, reindeer are real?
Yeah.
Ah,
yeah, man.
How do they fly?
So there's a magical feed that Santa Claus has, and it allows the bodies. It's kind of like helium in a balloon. It allows the bodies of the reindeer to float, and then they carry the sleigh. Yeah, haven't you ever heard of that?
No, so is this just in female reindeer then?
Yeah, just female reindeer. The chemical
it's stored
reaction
in the
doesn't work
antlers.
for the male reindeer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's stored in the antlers.
I have a feeling we're going to get called out on some of this.
And that's just science. So
yeah.
If you don't agree with that,
come on.
Who are you?
So Santa Claus is a great tradition, and we've got a bunch of those other ones. What happened to all my Krampus stuff?
Oh, did you take it out?
Did it?
Wait, no.
Oh, no,
Krampus is down there.
it's down there. All right, sorry. It's in these international holidays, so we haven't completely stopped with Santa Claus, but we're going to move through. It's a list of the top 11 Christmas traditions around the world, and some of them are really interesting. To start out with, we're going to go to the Philippines. The Giant Lantern Festival in the Philippines is held each year on the Saturday before Christmas Eve in the city of San Fernando. So we're recording this on the day that this would happen, actually. It's called the Christmas capital of the Philippines. Originally, lanterns used in this festival were small, made out of origami paper and lit by candle. Now, with modern electricity, this festival involves lanterns made like 6 meters in diameter with light bulbs to enhance the spectacle. It looks like a kaleidoscope of like paper flying around in the air. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So moving to Europe, in Sweden, the either Gavle or Gavle goat, it has an umlaut above the A. I don't know how to pronounce that in Swedish, so I'm going to call it the Gavle goat.
I just love that you could pronounce umlaut, though.
Yeah. It became a tradition in 1966. A 13-meter tall Yule goat is built in the Gavle Castle Square for the Advent. As with all things giant and wooden, a few hooligans try to burn this goat down every year, which is probably the funniest tradition I've ever read about. The most recent successful burning was in 2016, so obviously you guys still can get it done. I love it.
Oh, man. Let's build this giant goat, and then just these guys are they just know they're gonna build this goat, but they just know it's gonna be burnt down. It's gonna be trying to burn down.
I just love our culture and everything.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
Yeah. So
I want to do that now.
So with my mentioning of Krampus,
hang on though.
Oh, okay.
Real quick.
Right.
I'm Swedish.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm 100% Swedish.
Wow.
So some Christmas, I'm gonna go to Sweden and burn down this freaking goat.
Let's do it.
It'll make a great story.
Yeah.
And
I
write a
can't
blog
wait
post
to stay in a Swedish jail or something.
Well, it sounds like it's expected. What do you get if you burn it?
I probably 4 years in prison or something. Community
so
service.
It's like just legitimate vandalism. That's just traditional.
It's legit like arson that they've just like it's part of the tradition, I guess. I don't know if they get punished or anything, or if it's like kind of a joke that they all have, but I just think that's hilarious.
I do too. Oh, okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
So we'll move to Austria, a little bit south of Sweden. And they just can't help themselves. They're like, we can't have a happy Christmas. Happiness is not our forte. We've got to have a scary Christmas. So Krampus, an evil demon, stalks the streets, scaring kids and punishing the naughty ones. Santa in Austria treats all the good children, while Krampus kidnaps all the bad ones, which seems like a pretty solid deal for the parents of the bad ones. Maybe some of them love them, but can't stand a bad child. So we'll move halfway across the globe to Japan. A new tradition is breaking out, partially due to an advertising campaign from KFC. But basically, KFC is now the choice Christmas dinner for Japanese families, and it's becoming a bigger and bigger thing. They make special Christmas KFC buckets, and they even offer like a whole roast chicken or maybe a turkey even on their menu, on their Christmas menu. It's pretty cool.
I don't know why, but that just makes me so happy.
Yeah,
there's a country that just appreciates KFC.
Yes, an entire country.
Yeah, and they're like, you know what? On this special day of the year, we're going to have perfectly mediocre fried chicken, and
extra crispy.
It's just gonna be a thing that we do.
We're gonna have an extra crispy Christmas.
Yep.
Oh my. So we're gonna move back to Nordic areas. In Iceland, the Yule lads take the place of Santa Claus. So they visit children for 13 nights in a row. These lads place gifts in the children's best shoes that they set out if they're nice, or rotting potatoes if they're naughty. Seems like the punishments in other countries is a lot worse than just coal. But
rotting potatoes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
These lads include such reputable characters as Stekjastauer, or the sheepcoat clod, Giljagour, Goligok is his name, Stufer, his name is Stubby, Dvorslikir, or spoon licker, Potaskiffle, pot scraper, Askaslikir, bowl licker, Heroaskilir, door slammer, Skiergamer, which is skier gobbler. Apparently skier doesn't translate. Bjugnek Kraker, which is sausage swiper. Glugagir, which is window peeper. Getting really exciting now.
Yeah.
Gata prefer, which is doorway sniffer. Ket croker, which is meat hook. And then Kurtasnikir, which is candle stealer. Sounds like a...
Honestly, I could listen to you just try and pronounce these words for an entire podcast, and it would be awesome.
We'll have a Learn Icelandic podcast, I guess.
Yeah.
So these sound like quite the quality bunch of lads you would want visiting your children through the night. Meat hook, window peeper, doorway sniffer.
Yeah, Stubby.
Stubby. So
I'm trying to decide which one I'd want to be.
Yeah.
I don't know, like...
I think I'd like pot scraper.
Pot scraper, yeah. Door slammer, maybe. I'm just known by the doors I slam.
Although sausage swiper's pretty good, and he's got a cool name, Bjugna Kraker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Window peeper would be... that'd be kind of creepy.
Yeah.
You know, like... I just look into people's windows, or peep into them, I suppose. Goligok, though, I don't know what that is, so I feel like I'd have a lot of creative license for that.
That's true. Stubby, I feel like, gets the worst of the deal because he's just
really
like
gets the short end of the stick.
I hate you so much.
That was not even intentional, but it worked out.
Oh no! All right, so up next comes Germany, obviously Austria and all that. They decided to have another kind of fun little Santa helper. So in the Bavarian region of Germany, St. Nicholas brings along a fun little companion you may remember if you've watched The Office.
Oh my god.
Yes, Knecht Ruprecht, or farmhand Rupert, accompanies jolly old St. Nick in this region as Santa's enforcer. Farmhand Rupert is a devil-like character with a dirty beard and carries a small stick or whip to punish devilish children. Do you remember what he says? Is it impish or innocent? Or is it... I don't think it's innocent.
You know what? I'm going to look this up.
All right.
Well, no, he's not called that, though, in The Office. What's he called?
He's a little bit different. But it's the same thing. Because Dwight isn't German per se. He's a little bit different, but it's based on the same character.
Yeah.
And then the character that they also try to bring up is called Black Pete, which is he's really interesting too, because he's normally portrayed in blackface.
Okay, no, he dresses up as Belsnickel, which is Dutch.
Dutch, yes.
Yeah.
Belsnickel. You want to talk about Belsnickel?
I don't know anything about Belsnickel.
You don't know? Well, Belsnickel is kind of like...
Well, he's based
Ruprecht,
on
yes.
Knecht Ruprecht. or whatever.
Yes.
So yeah. So it's pretty much the same thing.
Yep. So anyway, he carries a small stick or a whip to punish any devilish children. You know, your average Christmas child abuse story.
Naturally.
It's beginning to look a lot like Whipmas.
Okay,
All
no.
right, that was forced.
4 out of 10.
Hey, I at least I scored.
Yeah.
Norway is next up on the list with a fun little tradition. People in Norway hide their brooms to keep evil witches and demons from using them to fly around. This tradition was more popular in like the 1800s, but it often leads people to find or to hide their brooms in the safest place in the house, which explains why I can never find mine. Yes.
See, I just do that because if I see it, I feel like I might be obligated to use it.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good thought.
It's kind of
All right, so traveling back
makes sense.
Back to the United States, we celebrate our mixing pot of culture, including the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah. So the White House lights the official White House menorah at 4 p.m. on the prescribed first day and each successive day afterward of Hanukkah, the 12 days of gift giving that the Jewish celebrate. It is free to attend, but the tickets must be booked in advance if you want to check out this festival. It's one of the closer ones to us if you live in America. Mm-hmm. And if you feel like this list has been missing the whole rollerblading aspect of Christmas, you're in luck. All right. In Caracas, Venezuela, citizens head to church in the morning, but get this, they go to church in their rollerblades. You know, like normal people, I was confused at this tradition, but I suppose that's just how Venezuelans roll.
Oh gosh. Well, okay, well, thanks for stopping by, everybody. We're gonna just end it off there.
I had fun with this episode.
Oh my gosh. This is ridiculous.
You should never give me coffee and allow me to write an episode that we preface with, we're going to have fun with this episode.
So many puns. And, you know, I love puns. Let's just...
Yeah, let's be real. Yeah. So moving to Colombia, they celebrate the Virgin Mary and the virgin birth of Jesus Christ through lighting candles on Dia de las Velitas, or Day of the Little Candles. So everyone puts a few candles out on their porch or balcony to light up the night. I'm intrigued by this because it reminds me of the times during Christmas Eve service where they turn out all the lights, you light up the candles, and you sing Silent Night, and the candles light up the whole church. It's one of my favorite Christmas traditions just because it's so like peaceful and beautiful. Yeah.
Because my dad's church growing up, when we used to go out there, we would always do that with Silent Night.
Cool. Yeah, so in carrying on the tradition with the lights, Toronto in the Cavalcade of Lights marks the official start to the holiday season with more than 300,000 LEDs lighting up the square and a large Christmas tree, because nothing says Christmas more than a bunch of lights in a town square, apparently. That's kind of the end of it there. Yeah.
Those are all the traditions. So I got one I want to share. I've got a few, actually.
Cool.
So the first one is... in my hometown where I grew up, we would always, so they had like a Christmas light contest, you know, who could, you know, make their house look the prettiest. And my dad was always convinced we were going to win, even though he did the same exact thing every year and never tried to improve it. But we would have, one year we drank just a bunch of milk, and we kept the milk jugs, and then we put lights in the milk jugs and like lined our sidewalk with them.
Oh, cool.
And honestly, it was hideous. but one time the snow came and just covered all of the milk jugs.
Oh, yeah.
So all you could see was just like the light coming through the snow.
Oh, that's cool.
And that was really cool. We still didn't win. I mean, then again, I don't even know if it really was a contest. My dad just told me there was, which I think he just said, so I would, you know, actually help.
Yeah, so you would get your competitive spirit going.
Right. But, you know, I don't care about decorating anymore, and so that I'm just too lazy to do it. And I'm like, I don't really care if people see a non-Christmas decorated place. If, you know, that doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
So...
It tends,
that was one.
It tends to get me like the live, laugh, love that someone has on the back of their, or on their like living room. I'm just like, ugh. Please, no.
Yeah. No, but seriously, this is really good. I didn't know a lot of these things.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
The best Christmas tradition, and it's the best Christmas tradition because it's true, is that we get to celebrate the birth of Jesus, because Jesus is the reason for the season, as they say, and it's always a good time of year just to remember. I'm getting oddly serious at this point, but I do want to say that, yeah, you and I we're both Christians, committed Christians, and so that is one of my favorite traditions, is just to remember that God remembered us when He sent Jesus to this earth, and so that's another great Christmas tradition that's rooted in historical fact, and so that's something I wanted to mention.
I love it too, man. I love it too. Sorry, yeah. I'm trying to look it up. There's a comedy sketch, and maybe I'll just leave it in the show notes. It's gonna sound racist when I say it. It's called 4 or 6 to 8 Black Guys, I believe is the name of it. But basically it explains a Christmas tradition in a European town where they accompany Santa with like 6 to 8 black guys. And it's just an interesting tradition, very funny comedy sketch. So I'll leave that in the show notes for all of you who like a little humor to go with your Christmas.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Cool, man.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
So just watch out for Krampus.
Watch out, yeah.
Dude's going to get you.
And hopefully you guys all get a nice little spat of fig paste for Christmas.
Yes. I don't know what that means. But
I believe that's what Krampus leaves the good children. Yes.
Fig paste. Just what I want.
Yes.
That's what all of my Christmases have missed.
Well, Fig Newtons, those are pretty good, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm a fan.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to actually go make, am I going to make coffee? I might. Who knows? But I'm going to, I'm going to make some coffee. So
nice. I
guess we will talk to you on Friday.
And Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
And that stuff. All right. Talk to you later.
Get learning.